Let's compare some batteries. The control group is the EG4 LifePower 4, a lithium iron phosphate battery, also known as LiFePO or LFP, one of the most popular server rack batteries used by do-it-yourself solar energy enthusiasts. Next is a group of miscellaneous batteries that use sodium ion instead of lithium iron phosphate. And these are available on eBay, Amazon, and Alibaba for sale right now. Now, bear in mind, these are brand new. There's not a lot of information about them, and there's no third-party testing to verify these specs. The third category are these sodium-ion batteries from Natron Energy, and they seem to really be setting the bar for sodium-ion batteries. Unfortunately, they're only available for industrial uses right now, so hopefully we will see this technology get into the consumer level soon. First up is the EG4 lithium iron phosphate, which gets 7,000 deep cycles. If you cycled it once a day, that would be 19 years. Next up is this miscellaneous group of sodium ion batteries. They range from 3,000 cycles to about 7,000 cycles, so we're going to average that to 5,000 or 13 years. Next is the Natron Energy Industrial Battery. Comes in at a whopping 50,000 cycles, or 136 years. If this turns out to be true, then hopefully we will see some more of this variation of the sodium ion chemistry that Natron is using. What are the coldest temperatures that these batteries can operate at? In charging mode, the lithium iron phosphate battery can go down to 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees centigrade. The miscellaneous sodium ion batteries could charge at around -4 degrees Fahrenheit or -20 degrees centigrade, which is also the same temperature that the Natron battery can charge at. When discharging, the lithium iron phosphate battery can also get down to -4 degrees Fahrenheit, just not when it's charging. And when discharging, some of our sodium ion miscellaneous batteries claim to go to -40 degrees. What are the highest temperatures that these batteries can handle? We'll start when the battery is discharging. The lithium iron phosphate battery can handle up to 131 degrees Fahrenheit, while the miscellaneous sodium ion batteries can handle a little bit hotter, up to 140 degrees. The Natron actually comes in last in this category, and it can only go up to 113 degrees. Now, when charging the batteries, the lithium iron phosphate cannot go as high, can only go up to 122 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature range of both of these sodium categories remains the same whether you're charging or discharging. The C rate of a battery is how fast the battery charges or discharges relative to its maximum capacity. Remember, an amp hour is a measure of quantity, like a pound of potatoes or a gallon of milk. So say we have a battery that has 10 amp hours. At a 1C rate, we can charge or discharge at 10 amps, and it will take 1 hour. At a 2C rating, we can double the current to 20 amps, and it now takes half the time, 30 minutes. At a 0.5C rating, we can charge or discharge at 5 amps, or half of the amps that we used at the 1C rating. It will take 2 hours, which is twice as long as the 1C rating. Let's start with the lithium iron phosphate battery. This has a capacity of 100 amp hours. The maximum constant charge is 100 amps, so 1C, but they recommend 30 to 50 amps, or 0.3 to 0.5C. And the maximum discharge is also 100 amps, or 1C. Our normal charge rate is 0.5C, maximum 1C. Next is our miscellaneous sodium ion batteries. So here we see a recommended charging rate of 0.2C to be able to get 3,000 cycles out of this battery. And on these prismatic cells, you see maximum A discharge current of 1C, maximum charging current of 3C. So for our normal current, we're going to say 0.2C and a maximum of 3C. Now let's move on to the Natron. This is a 25 kilowatt hour battery, 25,000 watts, divided by 48 volts, and that gives us about 520 amp hours of storage. And the normal discharge current is about 550 amps, or just a little over 1C. Maximum discharge current, 750 amps, around 1.5C. And here they're claiming a 16C charge rate for fast charge. So we're going to go with normal 1C charging and maximum of 16C charging, even though I really would like to see some sort of third-party confirmation of that. However, if this is accurate, the Natron is obviously the clear winner of this round. C rate would be very important for electric vehicle charging, but for solar home energy storage, most systems are sized so that we are charging at less than 1C anyway, so I don't think C rate is as important for us. First up is our lithium iron phosphate battery. So the normal operating voltage is from 47 to 54 volts. The next category is the miscellaneous sodium ion batteries that I found on eBay, Amazon, and Alibaba. So the specs they give on this 12 volt sodium ion battery is from 6 volts to 15.8. Same on this one. If you were running this 12 volt battery in a 48 volt system, you would run 4 of them in series. So we will take the numbers and multiply by 4. So we end up with 24 volts on the low end and 63.2 volts on the high end. So next up is our Natron 48 volt battery. The Natron's operating range is from 38 to 59 volts. So more range from the low to the high than the LFP battery, but not as much range as we have in our miscellaneous sodium ion category. So is more range better? Not necessarily. Let's take a look. If we use these batteries with the existing inverters that are out there, in this case we'll use a Growatt 3000. The low DC cutoff is around 40 volts, while the high DC cutoff is around 60 volts. This is the voltage where the inverter will actually shut itself down to protect your batteries. So you can't use any voltages outside of this range of 40 to 60 volts. So these ranges are not usable for us with this inverter. As sodium batteries become more prevalent, the inverter manufacturers will have to update their software to be able to handle these wider ranges. Now, the lithium iron phosphate battery is entirely within the range that this inverter can handle. You would not normally get to this lower range of 47 volts. So this is the battery state of charge for the last 30 days in my Growatt system with my G4s. Right here is the lowest state of charge that I hit at 16% state of charge. That's on November 27th at 11 o'clock. So let's look at the battery voltage for that same time. And you can see I'm at about 51 volts. That's a long ways from 47 volts. And this is at 16% state of charge. So over on these miscellaneous sodium ion batteries, without actually testing these in the real world, I don't know how accurate this high to low range even is or how usable it is. Meanwhile, Natron claims that you can use their battery from 0% state of charge all the way up to 100% state of charge. So in that aspect, Natron has a clear advantage over the other batteries. The wider voltage range of the sodium batteries isn't really a clear-cut advantage over the smaller voltage range of the lithium iron phosphate. It just means that the voltage drops faster in the sodium chemistry. Another way to look at this is called the discharge curve. When discharging a lithium iron phosphate battery, the voltage stays fairly flat for most of the chart. So you can either use a shunt to measure the actual current going in and out of the battery, or you can use BMS communication, where the inverter talks directly to the BMS of the battery to find out the state of charge. On sodium-ion batteries, you can see that the voltage drops steadily as the state of charge goes down. So it's possible to estimate your state of charge based on the voltage of the battery. But direct communication with the BMS of the battery is always the preferred method. All sodium batteries seem to be better in cold weather. If this natron technology is adopted into widespread use, batteries may last longer than we do. Okay, if you're currently thinking of building a solar power system, for a little while at least, I would still stick with lithium iron phosphate batteries, at least until we see some more sodium batteries out there and that the current inverters support the sodium batteries in their software. One final thing that we didn't talk about is, of course, sodium is available and cheap compared to lithium that requires a lot of heavy mining. We can pull sodium out of salt water. However, sodium is not the only component of these sodium-ion batteries, and each battery manufacturer is going to make the batteries completely differently. In the next video, we'll look at how sodium-ion batteries work, also what kind of manufacturing is going on right now with it. We'll also look at the potential environmental impact as well as supply chain issues. That wraps it up for this video. See you in the next one.